Now, as the Wuhan virus continues to spread, another epidemic is gripping America. The opioid epidemic. It has been growing since the last decade, but now it has entered its most dangerous phase. America's Drug Enforcement Administration has made some shocking revelations. Drug agents have seized nearly 4,500 kilograms of fentanyl this year. Listen to the amount now. The amount is enough to kill every single American. Think about that. All 330 million of them. Let's understand what fentanyl is. It is a synthetic opioid which was developed as a painkiller nearly 60 years ago. It is usually given to cancer and surgery patients. One of the biggest dangers of fentanyl is its potency. It is up to 50 times stronger than heroin. 50 times. And twice as potent as morphine. Let me give you a clearer picture. Fentanyl is so powerful that a lethal dose can fit on the tip of a pencil. 2 milligrams of this drug is enough to overdose. In recent years, fentanyl has become one of the leading causes of deaths in the United States. More than 100,000 Americans died of drug overdose last year. Synthetic opioid overdoses have claimed more lives than the US soldiers killed in the Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan wars combined. And more than 88% of those overdoses were linked to fentanyl. Let that sink in. Fentanyl has become a cheap street drug. Dealers sell it straight to earn more profit. But things started getting murkier. In 2013, the number of fentanyl overdoses began to climb. Why? You see, traffickers started mixing it with other drugs such as heroin and cocaine. They use fentanyl to strengthen other illicit drugs or to stretch their stockpile. It is also used to make counterfeit versions of other frequently used and abused prescription drugs, especially on the black market. Adderall has been the most common one. Their aim is to boost sales by getting the users hooked. Users don't even know that they are consuming fentanyl. Many get addicted without realizing. They didn't know that the sleep that followed the high could be permanent. The US Drug Enforcement Administration has cracked down on the booming opioid industry now, and millions who had become addicted to prescription pain pills suddenly found it difficult to get them. But Mexican cartels soon filled the vacuum, and fentanyl was pipelined from the Mexican back alleys of Tijuana to Washington. Before Mexico, illicit fentanyl was shipped from China. Much of it was ordered through the dark web and concealed in small parcels sent through mail. It took months and acres of land to grow and process poppy into opioids. But fentanyl can be manufactured in small labs using fairly accessible chemicals. The entire process takes just a few days, and that's where Mexico beat China. Its cartel chemists learned to make fentanyl themselves and quickly replaced China as the main source of the drug. US border authorities are now overwhelmed. They say it is nearly impossible to stop fentanyl trafficking across the Mexican border. America's argument is close to 220,000 vehicles cross the border each day, and authorities can screen only a small fraction. Former President Donald Trump had preached that a wall along the border would stop the torrent of drugs, but nearly all the fentanyl entering the US passes through official border crossings and not through the deserts and the mountains. Since July, the amount of fentanyl seized at the Mexican border has doubled. This is each month. The DEA is now taking a direct aim at the cartels, but federal agents estimate that they are catching only 5 to 10% of the drugs coming in from Mexico. What about the rest of it? Deaths due to fentanyl overdose have been skyrocketing in America. The opioid epidemic has hit the young with an alarming speed. But despite these record deaths, the US federal officials have been slow to act or react. What are they waiting for more people, especially teenagers, to get killed? If anything, they have made opioids like marijuana more accessible. 4,500 kilograms of fentanyl has been seized, and this is just what we know as of now. Border authorities say that the seized drug is only a fraction of what is actually being circulated. What about the black market? There could be more than what's meeting the eye. America better wake up and remove this lethal drug from its streets. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.